All right, everybody, let's get hype, man. UFC 287 is gonna be great, man. Let's go over the card a little bit. For people that I do know, right? From my fellow casuals, man. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, right? First bout that I'm really interested in, to be honest, would be Ignacio Bahamondes, man. He is tough as nails, man. Like, he is not afraid to wear the crimson mask, man. He is a straight warrior. I remember him being down in fights, and he just comes back with some spinning or something flying, and it's just, man, he is an exciting fighter to watch. Well, he's having a catchweight bout against Trey Ogden. I don't know too much about Trey Ogden, you know? So, I mean, this is catchweight, so something must have happened, right? So, I'm going Ignacio, right? I really feel like he can clutch out. I'm not picking over him. I'm sorry. I'm just not. All right. Moving along, though. We got women's strawweight bout. All right. Cynthia Calvillo and Lupi Ganindez. Ganindez? Is that how you say it? Yeah, Ganindez. Cynthia Calvillo's dope, right? She was one of my favorite fighters, man. As far as women, man, you know, she was really gritty. She's really grinding you out. She's really tough, man. But I don't know. I'm like, these last few performances haven't really been like her best, you know? And I feel like it's a little skid. Like, I think like she's still ranked. I believe she's still ranked. So I still give her the edge over the Loopy girl. Unless Loopy does something loopy. I see Cynthia winning, man. That's bullshit. I remember I won that fight. Yeah. I still remember that, man. But man, she went toe to toe with some of the best, even former world champions. You know what I mean? And she didn't get like dog walked or nothing. You know, she made a good fight. I still think she's up there. She's up there in age a little bit, you know. But no, I'm gonna go with Cynthia Calvillo, man. All day, man. All day. I think the hands can speak for themselves. Her wrestling can speak for themselves, and just her. I really think she could push the pace more. That's just really my take on it, man. I think Loopy, I don't know too much about her, but hey, man, she might be tough in her own right, you know. But I think Cynthia's got this all the way, man. She needs this. All right, she needs this. That's the early prelims. I'm so sad because one of my favorite fighters to watch, you know, heavyweight, Chris Barnett is not on the card anymore. Something must have happened, but he put out the bout to undisclosed reasons. So now we got replaced with Carl Williams, who I don't know too much about, but I guess he got hands, you know. So it's always good to see hands. Chase Sherman has hands too, man, hands and feet. So this should be a tough fight. It's just, I don't know. Heavyweights are always great, so it can lean towards. I love heavyweights because you could always be like, oh, this guy's gonna win, but this guy's got. Everyone has power, so I just really, when I look at it, I feel like even a short notice is not going to be so good for the opponent. I don't know. I'm gonna pick Carl Thomas to see if he's ready. I don't know. I think Carl Thomas might get this, man. I like Chase Sherman though, but I think Carl Thomas might get this, even though it's both short notice for both players. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Carl Thomas. Heavyweight bout. Moving along, man. We got Gerald Meerschaert. You know, Gerald Meerschaert versus Joey Piper. Gerald Meerschaert, he's really good. Like, despite the Hamzat, you know what I mean? One punch, like one punch, right? Despite the Hamzat one punch, he's still good. Right? He's very sneaky, you know what I mean? I like his striking, you know? I just feel like, I don't know, like, the deep waters, he doesn't really do too good at. You know what I mean? Like, when the pressure hits him, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's those guys who can put a ton of pressure, but they're not used to getting pressure put on him. And that's what it feels like with Gerald Meerschaert. And I don't know. I think he'll break. And I think Joey Piper might get this, honestly. Yeah, I think Gerald Meerschaert might break. So I'm going to go with Joey Piper, man. You know, good old Gerald Meerschaert. But I'm going to go with Joey Piper for that one. All right, moving along, man. We got women's strawweight bout, man. We're going against the Karate Hottie, right? Michelle Waterson Gomez. Oh, she put the Gomez, huh? Oh, she put the Gomez. All right. And Luana Penario. Is that how you say it? Penario. I'm going with Michelle Waterson. I like Michelle Waterson. She's a great technique fighter. She's very poised. She rarely gets beat up in there. And there's only a handful of people who've beaten her up. And I just don't feel like when it comes to stand-up, she is somebody that it's going to be a problem to deal with, man. She hits hard. She's tough. She's really technical, man. And I really like that about Michelle, man. She's really calm in there. She uses her jiu-jitsu, even though sometimes she doesn't get the submissions or nothing like that, but she still tries to get out there and get it. She's not one of those girls who just lays and prays. She actually tries to fight you, and I like that. And I think she's still ranked top 10, so I'm going to go with Michelle Waterson all the way. Luana, she's probably good in her own right, man, but no. I still think Michelle Waterson's got it. Former champions are only beating her and stuff like that. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, really, only former champions are really, giving her problems, man. So, yeah. Plus, I don't know. I kind of want to see her fight Weili Zhang. You know what I mean? I just for the one time or something. Like, I don't know. That's just me. But we got to move along. But Michelle Waterson, I'm going to say, I think, man, it's going to be a decision. I really think it's going to be a decision. Luana's tough. She's not one of those girls that backs down. She's going to go straight forward. So I really think Michelle Waterson, unanimous decision. Let's go. All right, moving along. This is going to be probably my favorite fight of the card. All right. Well, it was going to be Chris Barnett, but But this one right here, middleweight bout between Chris Curtis and Kelvin Gastelum. I'm sorry. Kelvin Gastelum, again, had one of the most craziest. They're still on active right now. Go watch it on UFC. It is one of the best fights you've ever seen with him and Israel Adesanya. I'm telling you, Kelvin Gastelum's never really in a boring fight, ever, man. Ever. He is short, but his looping punches, his wrestling, his toughness, he goes straight forward, man. But Chris Curtis, if he touches you, that man has power, man. That man has beyond power, man. Strength and power. It's both. It's like Hercules type stuff, right? So when he lands, he lands. He knocked Joaquin Buckley out cold, man. It was crazy. Calvin's no slouch either, man. He'll drop some people. He'll get in there with anybody. 6'5", 7 foot. You know what I mean? Like, Calvin will get in there with anybody. So he's going to be used to this. Going to be used to fighting people with power. Now, I've been seeing people like, oh, he's not going to fight somebody who's as powerful as Chris Curtis is. And I'm like, nah, Calvin gets in there. Like, Calvin will get in there with anybody. He's got in there with some pretty powerful people. You know what I mean? So I think this is going to be the fight of the night. This is going to be crazy. Chris is going to use his poisonous. He's very technical. He waits. He's very patient. He's like an assassin. He's very patient, and he's just going to blitz it. And then Calvin is he's high octane. He pushes the pace. He's really about value. So this is a perfect fight for you guys. You got one guy who's just going to push the pace with value. You got another guy who's just going to be patient, waiting for good shots. This is going to be crazy, man. This is going to be your fight of the night. But I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pick Chris Curtis. I think he's going to be able to pick the shots and get one in and maybe clip Kelvin Gastelum. Good night. I'm going to say third round TKO. But Kelvin Gastelum also can do submissions. He's also very well-rounded. More well-rounded, I think, than Chris Curtis. But I still think Chris Curtis is going to edge us out. Third round TKO. All right. Third round TKO, Chris Curtis. All right. Now, I don't know why, but, more power to him. But Raul Rosas Jr., I don't even understand why a person who needed, for his parents to sign for him to fight, why is he main event? I don't even get this stuff. I don't get this at all. Like, there's guys, I just don't understand why he's main event. I don't get it. Like, Kelvin Gastelum won the Ultimate Fighter. Like, you know what I mean? He actually won I just thought the contenders did a little different, but I just don't get why, he's on the main card. Like, this is the main card. Not no prelims, not Fight Pass, but the main card. It's wild. But Raul Rosas Jr., he's putting in work. Such a young age. It's like kids like him are like really good for this sport because they can soak in anything. They're good at reading people. They're good at learning. They could just soak up anything, man. And he is showing that. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got some developed hands. He's developing his game so slow. Not even slowly, but quickly. But I like the pace they're giving him, but at the same time, it's like, wow, they're literally throwing him in the shows, huh? But he has a bantamweight bout against Christian Rodriguez. And honestly, man, this is a tough guy. This is gonna be a tough guy. Like they threw up somebody. You know, they didn't just throw him a bum and then put him in the main event. They threw him a good guy and put him in the main event. So this is actually a legit fight, a good legit fight for Raul Rosas Jr. We'll see if he can, do it. See, put him to the test, man. That's what they're doing this for. That's what the UFC's doing this for. That they want to show us fans if he's, developed or not. So we're gonna see, man. Well, but I'm gonna have to go. I want to go with the more experienced fighter, but at the same time, they putting him up there for a reason. The UFC believes in this guy. So, I mean, hey, fans are backing him too, man. I'm backing him. So, I'm going to go Raul Rosas Jr. I think he's going to do it submission. I don't think it's going to be TKO. I really think it's going to be a submission, real slick submission. Maybe round 2, maybe round 3. That's just my pick. All right, moving along. All right, one of my favorite fighters today. Okay, Big Mouth Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. Again, despite a couple knockouts, Santiago is still tough. He's still gritty. He still goes forward. He pushes a good pace. He has good cardio. He can go for miles, right? But Kevin Holland is one of the most unorthodox, fun fighters I've ever seen in my life. Like, the guy can land anywhere at any moment. He's got all different, to quote Brendan Schaub, different types of angles with the punches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like Spider-Man in there, man. I still, that image of him knocking out Jacare from the bottom position is insane to me, man. Like, this guy can do anything besides wrestling. Like, I feel like wrestling is that kryptonite for him, but that's not going to be too much of a thing in this fight, I don't think. I think they're both going to stand up. I think they're both going to want it. I think they're both going to want to make a statement, especially Kevin Holland. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with one of the best strikers in the UFC, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, if not the best. I mean, the guy was, like, undefeated, right? And he went toe-to-toe with him, wasn't scared, you know what I mean, went in the pocket, took shots, threw shots. I like Kevin Holland when he's on game. Kevin Holland's going to be on game for this one because he doesn't want to lose 2 in a row. He doesn't like that feeling. I mean, he's even talked about leaving the sport. You know how that goes. But it's just like, no, he's going to want this. We haven't really seen him out in the media talking crazy. We haven't really seen him on antics. I think he's laser-focused Kevin Holland. And a laser-focused Kevin Holland is the most scariest thing on the planet at welterweight, okay? You better believe it, man. So I'm going with Kevin Holland. I think he's going to find that chin, and I think he's going to knock Ponzinibbio out. Okay? I'm going round 2. I would go around 2. Ponzinibbio, I don't know if it's glass yet. I have to determine if this fight will determine if it's glass, but the chin is looking a little suspect. So I'm still going Kevin Holland, second round knockout. All right. Moving on, man. We got bantamweight bout between Rob Font and Adrian Yanez. Okay. Look, Adrian Yanez all the way, even though he's number 12, right? You think not top 10. Adrian Yanez is boxing. Go watch those boxing matches. It is boxing matches he is doing. Liver shots, kidney shots. I'm just like hooks, straight. The guy is boxing in there. Fluent boxing. For real fluent boxing, man. And Rob Font's good with boxing too. He's got good hands. It's going to be a war. Rob Font is not afraid to wear the crimson mask. He's not afraid to go out there and look like Ric Flair, in the WWE match. He's not afraid of that. Rob Font took a year off because of damage he received, in his last fight, man. But I think, though, this is going to be a good fight, but I'm still going with Adrian Yanez. That boxing, I feel like it's going to be too much for Rob Font. There's not going to be too much wrestling in this at all. If anything, defensiveness. If anything, it's going to be a wrestle scramble because somebody got hurt. That's the only type of wrestling that is going to be in this match. I promise you that, right? That's it. This is going to be pure stand-up between two bangers, and I can't wait, man. I'm so excited for this, man. I'm so excited. Adrian Yanez boxing versus Rob Font street boxing, right? Right? I can't wait, but I'm still going Adrian Yanez. I'm going, I really feel like he can push it. I'll probably go unanimous. I think Rob Font's still tough enough to take all those shots and to take it, but I could also see Adrian Yanez Adriana's landing a kidney shot or landing a liver shot, and then it's over. Like, I can really see a sequence of Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stevens. I could see that playing out in this fight. So I'm going to go with Adriana's liver shot. All right, liver shot. All right, moving along. Another one of my favorite fights on the card. Okay, we got a welterweight bout, man. This welterweight bout, this is the co-main event, guys. Gilbert Burns, who is number 5, versus Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, man. Durinho and Gamebred. This one is hard to pick. It just is. I just looking at them both, man. They're both from Florida, man. Both from the South Beach, man. Areas. Okay, you got Black Zillions versus American Top Team again. This is bragging rights. This is Miami. This is Jorge Masvidal. I mean, we waited almost a year. It's like being a year since, you know, we seen Jorge, man. He got dropped pretty bad, and then he fought Kobe. You know what I mean? And you know how that went. Like, just he couldn't beat Kobe. And I don't know, man. I just don't like. Gilbert's not a Kobe, but Gilbert is a tough guy. Gilbert is somebody who's not just going to get knocked out. He's not just going to get dropped. I mean, both these guys got dropped by Kamaru. But again, I think that was more timing than anything. I just feel like Gilbert, his pace is insane, man. His pace is insane. He does not stop, man. That fight with Hamzat showed you guys what type of fighter Gilbert is, man. And arguably, man, Hamza, I feel like, won that fight, but you can go back and forth to see the rounds, and it's just like, forget the blood and stuff like that. Look at the pace. Look at the shots he took. Look at the shots he was giving back. And I don't think Jorge can do that. I don't think he can stand and do all this stuff at this level, at this day and age, man. I don't think he's mentally there, and I don't think he's physically there to be doing these type of, like, I don't think it's gonna go how people think. There's no flying knee like he's trying to tease. I don't think it's gonna be none of that, dude. I really think you're gonna get put to work again by another wrestler, another grinder, another person. And besides Kobe doing whatever Kobe wanted to do with Jorge, Gilbert's a champion on the ground. He is a Brazilian black belt champion. You know what I mean? There's more than what Kobe was. Kobe had good wrestling, but the man has ways to end the fight. Wrestling can't just end the fight. You can't just end the fight with wrestling. Submissions end the fight. Ground and pound end the fight. And that's stuff that Gilbert has in spades. I'm just going Gilbert Burns, man. Masvidal it's just different now. He's got a level of success, you know, kind of like that Conor thing. One foot in, 1 foot out. He's already talking about he's quitting after this, which is insane to me, because I'm like, you're a fighter. Your name is Gamebred. Did you ever see Cowboy quit? That's what I don't understand about you guys. Like, Cowboy didn't even want to leave the sport. We forced him out. The media, UFC, fans, we forced Cowboy to retire. That's why Cowboy deserves Hall of Fame status. That's why Cowboy is people's champion. Like, Jorge is already talking about leaving off of losses. Like, how many, like, come on, man. I can't do it. I'm going Gilbert. Gilbert all the way. I feel like he can edge out unanimous decision, but I also feel like he can finish Masvidal. Not by hands, but like submission. I'm going to throw up a rare one, even though Gilbert's submission, you know, percentage is very low when it comes to fighting in here. Versus his hands. He's found hands, so he fall in love with the hands. They really don't want to do submissions in wrestling, so I'm still gonna go with Gilbert Burns. Maybe submission, but definitely Gilbert Burns, unanimous decision. All right, moving along, we have the main event. All right, Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. All right, last outbender, man. All right, the first fight, like I said, you guys had a video earlier, previous, and I mentioned that, you know, I think Adesanya is going to win and all that stuff. But they've been throwing us the fights and all these guys' fights, which is great. And if you don't have it, go get Fight Pass and, go, check those out. It'll be good to watch on Fight Pass. But they've been throwing you the fights, and I got to watch each fight again over and over again. I've been really watching this tape before I made this video, and I'm going with Alex all the way. And just like even listen to some of these guys do great breakdowns. I'm not going to name out their channel like some fangirl, but I'm saying they're pointing out some really good things that are really, really, really relevant to this topic and to this fight. And things that are pointing out in the fights you could see. That's why I love breakdowns when certain people do them, because they do a good job of breaking these people really down. And you can really see in that first fight, Alex wasn't timid. Alex wasn't scared, but it looked like Izzy was. Izzy the whole time looked like he was trying not to get knocked out. He was trying not to get hurt. And this is a fight. And if you have that mindset, and trust me, I'm not no, brawler, but I've been in fights. And when you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to get knocked out, I don't want to get hit, you're already losing, man. You're thinking about the wrong things. So, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking about the wrong things. All those things are going in his head. The bright lights. It just seemed like all that stuff has hit him. And you would think Adesanya would be used to it, but he wasn't. You would think he'd be used to this guy, but he's not used to Alex. He's just not. Alex is a different type of fighter. Alex is a real fighter. Alex reminds me of Tong Po. You know what I mean? That kickboxer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie? Alex reminds me of a real, true warrior, man. Like, real true warrior, man. They're not scared. They'll go in your face. They'll fight a heavyweight. They'll fight anybody. He's not joking around. He didn't care about belts and none of that. He just wants to fight, man. Sign me up. Let me go. Let's go. The man is a freak. And I mean that in a good way, man. He is so big, bro. Like and it's just like, Adesanya's big too, man. But he can't hurt him like that. Yeah, you hurt him in the first round. You know what I mean? With the right, or was the right left combo, but after the bell a little bit. But it was one of those like mistakenly things. Like it didn't happen again. You notice that it didn't happen again throughout that whole fight. He hurt him once and it didn't happen again. But there were several times Alex landed and it hurt Izzy throughout the fight, and then actually finished him again. Didn't leave it to the judges, finished him. Izzy's leaving it to the judges. He is a point fighter. And I tell you guys all the time about point fighters on this channel, man. I can't respect it. Like, this isn't karate. You don't get points. What did you want points for? I want you to win. And Izzy's not going to win. He's just not. He's just not. He can't beat dude. He can't beat Alex. He can't. I don't think so. I'm saying he can't. And maybe he hopes he does, right? Like, forget what we're saying, the doubters, and then he just ups and does it, because I've been wrong before. I really thought John Jones was going to take that L against Ciryl Gane. But look at that. John Jones just proved us all wrong. But I just don't think this is going to be the case for Izzy. I think Alex is going to stop him even quicker. Third round stoppage. That's it. So there it is. There is your card. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. UFC 287. Make sure you guys leave a like. I really appreciate it. Lets me know to keep making these videos and that you guys appreciate them as well. But I'm going Alex Pereira, third round stoppage, and still UFC undisputed middleweight champion. It's your boy CMG, man. I'll see you guys later, man. Peace.